Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So the other day we reviewed a video from Ali Abdaal on how much money he made in 2021, which is like $4 million. It's pretty incredible, but he also alluded that he spends a lot of money as well. And thankfully for us, he posted this video. It's titled, How Much Money I Spend in 2021. So today, we're going to be reviewing how much money Ali Abdaal spends, and then I will critique whether or not it's good or bad. And also, big thank you to Wealthfront for sponsoring this video, but more on that later.
Alright, so honestly, I'm not sure if this video is going to be useful to anyone, but in this video, I'm going to be talking about all of the money that I spent in 2021.
It's not only useful to myself, but it's also useful to 233,000 other people who watch this video. Of course it's going to be useful.
Both personally, but also in terms of the business. I have done a video that you might have seen.
Got a lot of plants in the background. We need more plants here. You know what? What I got here. We're going to make this feel a lot more homey. Macy got me some flowers. So how about this? Is this going to look bad? How does that? Is that too overwhelming? There we go. Done. Perfect.
So currently I'm living in London. I moved here around mid-August, and since then I've been paying around about $3,650 per month in terms of rent.
That's not bad. Considering his income and all he's doing, $3,650, he's probably really living below his means at that. So, and knowing him, he's probably got a roommate.
I'm still paying the mortgage on the flat that me and my brother jointly own in Cambridge. When you have a mortgage and ours costs around about £1,200 per month, which is however many dollars, I don't know, £1,200 per month. And there's also around about $531 per month of interest on the mortgage. It's got like a 1.6% interest rate, something like that.
1.6% interest on the mortgage. God, how is he getting 1.6%? That's gotta be like a 10-year loan. He's taking out a short-term loan on that. Gosh, 1.6. Inflation is 6% a year. That's crazy. That's a good ROI right now.
And so in total, I'm paying $14,600 for these like 4 or 5 months to live in London, 9.5K in Cambridge, and that gives us a total of $24,160 for the year, which is $2,014 per month on average.
Why isn't he renting it out? Why is it sitting empty? Right? You should at least rent it. Find a good subscriber. Like, make it a giveaway of some sort. Like, hey guys, you subscribe to the channel, I'll give you a year worth of free rent. Something like that. You should be able to rent that out. Easy.
Let's talk about food. Now this one's a bit mental. So the first one is takeaway. I spend about $40 a day, $40 to $50 a day on takeaway.
That's a lot. You would think for $14,000 a year, he would be able to have one of his 17 employees just going and picking up food. Have an intern where their only job is just to bring you sustenance and coffee and all that stuff. Why not? At this point.
But because I spend so much money on takeaway and restaurants, I actually don't spend a lot of money on groceries. Maybe like £50 or $70 a month on groceries, which is only $840 per year.
Yeah, because he's basically just getting his groceries made for him and then delivered to him. So basically the same thing. But you know what? How much is that? $20,000 a year on food. If some of that includes his employee expense as well, like, you know, hey buddy, we're gonna share some Chinese food tonight. We're gonna share some pizza. So just to put things into perspective here, okay, let's say the average person is making $50,000 a year and they spend $6,000 a year on food. That would be the equivalent to like 11% of their income. But in his case, he's making $4.9 million and he's spending $20,000 a year in food. Let's do the math on that. Wow, that would be the equivalent to someone making $50,000 a year and spending $200 a year on food for his income. That's crazy.
Tech is probably the biggest expense here. I actually don't buy a lot of stuff personally that I can't call a business expense, but one of the things I recently bought was an Alienware gaming PC, which was $4,600.
Wow, $4,600 for a gaming PC. I mean, people seem to do just fine without $4,600 PCs. I'm not sure if you get like a good ROI on that, if it makes the game like that much better, or if it's like that extra 1% that everyone's trying to chase.
The next big category of expenses is books and audiobooks. Now, on average, I buy about 15 books on Kindle every month. This averages about $9 each. Been through my Amazon order history, which means that I spend about $135 per month on books, which is $1,620 per year.
Of all the things you could spend money on, $1,600 a year on books? I mean, people spend that in like 2 months of just going out on Friday nights, just having a great time. This is probably the best expense you could ever make.
Now, I spend large amounts of money on books and audiobooks because they're the single highest ROI, return on investment thing that I could possibly spend my money on.
Yeah, because he makes videos on them right afterwards. And his videos, like his top 10 books or whatever, they get 500,000 views. He's probably making on 500,000 views like that at least $15,000. So he reads a few books, makes a video about it, it pays for itself times 100.
On average, I'll spend somewhere between sort of $700 and $800 on one of those shopping trips. It's like, these shirts, I went through a phase of buying Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, you know what that's...
Hey, Graham.
Jack, I'm filming a video right now.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm just nervous about my day trading portfolio. It just keeps going down.
Jack, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to invest for the long term, like our sponsor today, Wealthfront.
I know. I just don't think I'm smart enough for that. The best thing I can do is just see stocks on Wall Street Bets and go all in on them.
No, Jack, you don't get it. Wealthfront is an automated investment platform that utilizes software to help find the optimal portfolio to build your wealth long term.
Wow, that automation part sounds amazing. It's relieving knowing someone else is just going to be consistently investing my money for me so I don't have to remember.
Yeah, all you got to do is answer a few simple questions about your goals, risk tolerance, and investment preferences, and then they'll handle the rest all with just a few minutes of work.
And also it's nice knowing my stock picks will not just drop immediately.
Then you don't have to worry about trying to time your trades, figuring out which Reddit post to read, or risk your entire portfolio because monkey butts said they did their research. If you want to build your wealth long term, Wealthfront could help get you there.
Thanks, Graham. And is there anything else I should know? Is it true that I can get started with as little as $500?
Yeah, but if you use my link in the description, they'll be waiving their 0.25% annual management fee up to the first $10,000 invested for the rest of your life. So you could create a long-term investing plan customized to your own preferences without spending hours or days researching reports and stocks and figuring out which ones to invest in. Plus, you could use their totally free financial planning tools to figure out how much you could spend each week on your Tinder dates.
All right, man, I'll get on it immediately. This is why you're the best, Graham.
No, Jack, that's why you're the best, Wealthfront. So with that said, now let's get back to the video.
I always seem to have to replace my underwear every few months. It just disappears. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys have that as well. The underwear just vanishes. I have no idea where it goes. The underwear that I use, if you're interested, is Uniqlo Airism.
It's a problem. It's probably one of those 17 employees. Kidding. That was a joke. I know your employees are watching this right now, but just keep an eye.
It's by far the best boxers I've ever worn, and they're great.
She's spending on $6.90. Why? You could go on Amazon and buy a 24 pack of underwear for like dirt cheap. It's not expensive at all.
And then we have personal care. So I subscribe to a product called Heights, which is like the supplement thing for $53 a month. I also invest in Heights, but I'm a paying customer. It's a smart supplement. I take 2 tablets every morning.
What is Heights?
It's a smart supplement.
What is this? Heights pill? What is this? We got a Heights Smart Supplement.
It's a smart supplement.
All-in-one nutrient. What is it? Better sleep, more energy, sharper focus, balanced mood with just 2 capsules a day. What's in it? Maybe I should be doing this too. Let's see. We'll look into this.
Let's talk about homeware now. So I moved into a furnished apartment in London, so I actually didn't need to buy much in the way of furniture, which was quite convenient. But for my Cambridge flat earlier this year, I did buy the Dyson cordless Animal V10 Hoover, something like that, and that was about $700.
Yeah, those Dysons, they're expensive. They're like the Steinways of vacuum cleaners. Now, I've never had a Dyson before. Everyone says they're incredible. It's like a Rolls Royce, but as a vacuum cleaner. But you know what? I would be down to try a Dyson and review it. If you guys want to see that, let me know down below in the description. I could write that off for the second channel for the Stephan and try out a Dyson, see whether or not it's worth it. So let me know.
All right, so the next big category of expenses is subscriptions and apps. Now, in terms of dating apps, I've spent $414 on dating apps this year.
Dating apps? Why does Abdaal need to spend any money on dating apps? His dating app is basically just the YouTube channel. He's gonna find someone who loves his content, who watches all of his videos, who agrees with them on like, they believe in the same stuff, they think the same way, they resonate on that. That's the best dating app ever, is just do that. Ollie, look, I just saved you $400 right there, that's it.
So I had a Hinge premium subscription for $234, a Bumble lifetime subscription, which I got last year, so that doesn't count as this year's expenses, and I subscribed to Tinder Gold for $20 a month.
I don't have the time for all of this. I've seen Jack do all of this stuff, and it's like a full-time job, watching them, the conversations back and forth, and then you forget to talk to somebody for a while, and they go out, and then there's a new person. Whoops. I wonder if Ali could outsource this and just have an intern or something, just, do the messaging for him, be like, oh, I've set you up on 4 dates today. This one, her favorite color is blue, she's a Pisces, and do not talk about animal products. There you go. So that's good. And then we got Cindy right below that. Her favorite color is red. I wonder if he could do that and just save a whole bunch of time to start speed dating this.
Then we have Audible, which was $127.50 for the year. Honestly, if I could only ever have one subscription in my life, it would just be Audible, because I think it's just incredibly valuable, and they're not even sponsoring this video. I also signed up to Amazon Prime, which is $104 for the year.
That's big. You put Audible above Amazon Prime. And I use Amazon Prime like every single week. So it's pretty good for Audible.
Next we have travel, where this year in total I've only spent $3,330, I say only, it's still quite a lot, on travel. Had a trip to Croatia, which was around $800, a trip to Amsterdam, which was around $2,000, and a trip to Pakistan, which was around $500, because I only paid for the flights and everything else was like family and stuff.
He's spending so much money, he should be able to get those flights for free with the credit card points. If he just uses the most basic airline credit card out there, just charges everything to that, he should at least be able to get about $20,000 a year free flights. That's it, with like 2 seconds of work.
I freaking hate doing the laundry, and I'm more than happy to pay someone $50 a week to do the laundry for me and do the ironing and make sure the shirts are ironed and all that kind of stuff. And if that saves me 2 hours of time, or even 1 hour of time, I think it's an absolute no-brainer. So outsourcing laundry has been a big quality of life improvement in my life this last year or so. And yes, I know that's really privileged and first world problems and all that kind of stuff, but hey, if you have the money, then you should probably outsource things that you don't like doing if you can afford it.
What don't I like doing? Ah, man, what don't I like doing everything that I do. I don't like doing the dishes. I don't really like cleaning that much. Man, that's it. Is there anything else I don't like doing? What can I outsource? Errands. I can outsource that, just doing random stuff. That's it. That's what I need to outsource.
For most of this year, I've also had a personal trainer, which is around about $110 per week for somewhere between 2 and 3 sessions.
That's something that I need. I need a good personal trainer to really push me at the gym and get me to wake up at like 6 a.m. every morning. Man, see, I feel all motivated now to do that, and then the morning comes and it's 6. I'm like, I'm not gonna wake up. I'm too tired.
And finally, there's this thing in the UK called council tax, which is around about $130 a month. So that's about $1,600 for the year. And crucially, I'm not including income tax as an expense. I will be taxed very heavily on my income, but that will come later further down the line at the end of the financial year.
That's interesting. What's the tax rate? How much is it? 45%. It's not that much higher than the US. Right now, the top US is 37%. 45% isn't, could be a lot higher.
In the UK, the financial year runs from April to April. Maybe it does elsewhere in the world, I don't know.
If you live in California, just take 37 plus 13, and that's 50%. So he's actually getting taxed less. He's 5% less in California.
I've also made a bunch of investments in things like real estate, like the mortgage, real estate upkeep, stocks and shares, and crypto, a bunch of random altcoins, which I probably lost money on, and a bunch of angel investments in various startups, but I'm not including those in this video. I will talk about my actual investment portfolio another time instead.
Yes, he's breaking this into 3 videos, like what I make, what I spend, and what my investments make. And then he can make a 4th video, what my investments lost. There you go, 4 video ideas right there.
By far the biggest expense is salaries. Now this year we have spent $501,987 so far on salaries.
All right, so let's think, 500,000. See, he's making $5 million, so to spend 10% on employees, it's not terrible. I have a feeling his employee expense is probably gonna be $1 million this year. Maybe a little bit more, actually, probably 1.2 million. What do they do? I'm so curious what they all do. And if he can't accomplish the same thing with half the people. But that's just my mentality. I don't know.
And we spent around $35,566 on consultants. So this is kind of mostly around like YouTube analytics-y type consulting, which has actually been quite a big expense. So overall, $501,987 on salaries and wages this year.
Who's he hiring for consultants? I would do consulting like that. Gosh, 35 grand. That would be fun. I would love to do like an hour-long consultant, like look through a YouTube channel and just be like, hey, gotta post more often, you gotta do better titles, better thumbnails, stick with this plan. The biggest issue that I've realized with a lot of people with YouTube is that they're not consistent. They'll be like, Graham, what's wrong with my channel? Why is it growing? I'm looking like, you haven't posted in 3 months. Yeah, but I'm so busy, I'm stockpiling videos. I'm like, post the videos. That's all you need. Any YouTube consultant should just be like on your butt to be like, post. Make more content. That's it.
The Part-Time YouTuber Academy. Part-Time YouTuber Academy is by far the biggest source of revenue for the business. It drives more than 50% of business revenue, but it also costs $197,678 this year to run, with a monthly average of $14,385.
It's not much at all. If this thing makes $2.5 million a year, his expense on that, $14,000 a month, is peanuts compared to how much he's making in return.
Alrighty, next we have Workspace. So we have this studio, which we moved into in October, which is pretty expensive. It was $14,600 per month for September through to December, and that is $58,400 for the year.
That's a lot. See, what I would do is just buy a place, buy a really cool building, buy a house, buy something like that. Preferably a house, because then it looks a little bit more natural. And then all you need to do is just use it for business. And then if it doesn't work out or you decide you don't need it anymore, then just rent it out as a normal rental. So that way you make money no matter what. That's what I would have done.
Next we have equipment and supplies. Now, we spend a bunch of money on stuff. So for example, on tech, this year we have spent $69,980. This bill was higher than it should have been because at one point my Tesla got broken into and someone stole about $25,000 worth of gear.
Wow, that sucks. Now I'm wondering if your car insurance would be able to pay for that. I had an issue a while ago, so many years ago, where a car was broken into and my laptop was sitting in a backpack. Someone just stole my laptop. And thankfully I didn't have anything on there that I couldn't just replace. Never got the laptop back. I tried to track it. Nothing. But believe it or not, because it was a newer laptop, American Express was able to cover it because it was in their like theft protection period. And yeah, they covered a good chunk of that, believe it or not. So I thought that was kind of cool.
We spent a lot of money on coaching. We have spent $74,644 this year on coaching. That is business coaching of various kinds, coaching related to my book, coaching related to finance stuff, coaching related to operation stuff, coaching related to management and leadership. It's genuinely like really, really, really useful.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. Most people hear coaching. Like imagine if I'm like, hey guys, if you want to pay me to coach you, people be like, it's just a scam, it's a scam. But meanwhile, someone like Ali is spending like $70,000 a year on coaching, and people are like, that's great, it's getting good consulting and coaching on all this great stuff. It just goes to show you, coaching is not something that is necessarily a scam, and when done right like this, it's very well worth it.
Next, we've got business travel, and this year we spent $18,540 on various traveling stuff. So that was mostly a trip to Monaco that we did to film a podcast with a chap called Oliver Cookson.
You know what? You should add on to that and come to Las Vegas, and we could do a podcast here. How about that? We'd love that. You're welcome anytime.
And then finally, another big category of expenses is taxes and fees. And so this calendar year, that's come to $195,941. Now, this does not include corporation tax, which is going to be absolutely huge when we find out what that bill is.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. Is there a corporation fee? Corporation tax in United Kingdom. Let's see what that is. Set at 19%. So I'm curious if he pays 19% as a corporation tax or if it flows through to him and then he pays his 45%. I don't think they're double taxed. Would be interesting to see though.
And so if we add all of this stuff up, our total business expenses are $1.5 million, $1,513,314 with a monthly average of $126,110.
Oh man, it's a lot of money, but you have to consider when he's making $5 million a year, he's spending 1.5 of it, he's still walking away $3.5 million a year in profit.
I honestly don't know how the number got that high, but it's going to be a lot higher next year as well, now that like we're really kind of ramping up with the monthly expenses of the studio and all of the team members that we've got. I just kind of hope that our revenue matches this and we can continue to have fun and enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm worried there might be some diminishing returns after a certain point. It might be better to increase productivity and just really focus on the highest yielding stuff first. But you know what? That's just me. Overall, great video. And with that said, you guys, if you guys enjoy videos like this, make sure to subscribe. Hit the like button. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram and on the podcast, The Iced Coffee Hour. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.